Do this again. There they are. There we go. Finally, some people in here. Arturo's World. Daniel Adami, you are first as usual. Hey Jeff, what's up? Thought I'd go live. It is a perfect Halloween evening. Hey Thomas, Jason Perry. It was raining earlier, but it's not now. I guess it's raining at home. I'm here, and I won't tell you which one. You're always in South Carolina there, Thomas. Just had dinner. Arturo's World, ready for a ritual. You know, there's a ritual that on Halloween evening, it's called the Meal of the Dead. And what you do is you make an extra plate of food for anybody that has passed away in your life that you want them to visit. So if it's your mom and dad, you set 2 tables, 2 table settings. And then the family, you eat at the table, right? And you do it by candlelight, and you don't say a word. The whole meal is a complete silence. And and you reflect on these people that have left this plane of existence. And then you finish the meal. You give them a little bit of the food. You put a little bit of the food on the plate. You're in Greer, South Carolina, I went by the Subaru plant today. Yukon, what's up? Michael P, trick or treat. It's funny, this morning I'd forgotten that it was Halloween, right? And I go into the Petro, and there's a big sign on the door that says, you cannot come in with a mask. I'm like, mask? Why would there be a mask? Oh yeah, it's Halloween. Because I wasn't on Facebook until earlier. My neighborhood was lit last night, lots of screaming. I bet. Trick-or-treating just isn't the same. There's a few years ago that we went, I always tried to be home on Halloween. It was a lot easier when it was on the weekends. And there was one neighborhood that we went to that was just like the gold mine. It's like the whole neighborhood kind of pitched in and did their thing. Whereas our neighborhood doesn't do jack squat, And of course, Springfield's the land of churches, so a lot of them are doing the trunk or treat, that kind of thing. Next gen. Am I channeling the dead tonight? Maybe, Yukon. You can't take your mask off. Permanent costume for life. Yeah, yep. No, I just thought I'd go live. I haven't been live in a minute. So I thought I'd go live, Halloween, light a candle with my Petro lighter. Careful, someone's behind me. I bet. So, if you don't know my background, my father passed away of lung cancer about 15 years ago. And he was a truck driver until the last year of his life. He got off the road. And, that's kind of why I became a truck driver, is because I always wanted to be one, number one, but number two, he became one after he left the military, and at one point owned a really nice tractor trailer, had the stainless steel, reefer trailer, the whole 9 yards. And but he never got to see me become a truck driver. He always told me he'd break my arms if I ever became a truck driver. Anyways, there was one night where, this is years ago, that I was getting sleepy and I had to try to make it to the next truck stop. And I swear that I felt a hand hit my shoulder to wake me up. And, as soon as I did that, I parked at the first place I can get to. You never know, man. Maybe he's in here with me. So, you guys ever feel like someone's sitting in the passenger seat while you're driving at night? Yeah. You almost called me? Yeah, I was driving a little bit later tonight, Thomas. I picked up at 2 o'clock today. They had me loaded in an hour and a half. But then I had to go from that stretch of, 55 to 65 on 80 there. Wasn't too bad. I wasn't going westbound because it was definitely backed up that way, but slowed down a few times. So it's like I did 200 miles and I'm just like, there's no hurry. I don't deliver till 4 o'clock tomorrow. Now, granted, I will call tomorrow to see if they'll take me early. But if not, no big deal. I'm still about 2.5 hours away. And then I've got my next load booked, but it doesn't pick up till Friday, noonish. So, but it gets me about 1,000 miles for the weekend, so that'll be good. And, but yeah, it's getting dark later, and this Saturday, I guess, this Saturday night, Sunday morning is going to be fall back on the clocks. But I'm doing all right, Thomas. Zach Robinson, where are you at on 70? James, what's up? Big Rig CEO. Brent, Florida. Logic Neo. I worked way too hard to put him through college. With my dad telling me not to become a truck driver, I think that every parent wants their children to do better than them. And my dad always felt that he could have done better, which, he had a very successful career in the military. And the days that he told me not to become a truck driver were the frustrating days, the beat the wheel days, just angry, and I've had days like that. And I think he was trying to, because, you think about it, being a truck driver, you don't eat right, you don't sleep right, you're away from your family, you miss out on social engagements, you miss out on a lot of stuff. There's a bit of sacrifice to it, and I think he didn't want me to deal with that pain, because the road was always a love-hate relationship, and it is with me too. It's like, on one hand, I like being out here. I like driving the truck when the loads are going smooth and traffic's going smooth, you know, and I'm making money. It's good, And on the other hand, I don't get depressed as much now. I used to get depressed quite a bit. I think my diet has a little bit to do with that as well. But it's like you get off the road. I couldn't imagine myself doing a day cab job unless it was just like gravy and it paid well. You know what I mean? But even then, that could be taken away from you at any minute. Just like a factory job. And I got tired of doing factory work. And I always felt that if my dad had embraced the fact that I wanted to become a truck driver, he could have trained me. He could have, hell, we could have teamed. We could have, bought a truck and did well with it. And then by the time that, I was ready to have kids, I would have had all the OTR stuff out of my system, and I'd probably be driving maybe a good day cab job. Who knows? But we never got that chance. But that's usually, there are guys that can't wait to become day cab, be home every day type jobs, and then there are guys that try it and then come back to the road, either for money reasons or the fact that they just, like every day's different, every day's new, and being an owner operator in the situation that I'm in, I feel like I'm in complete control of my business and my trucking career and all that. You're at Betty's truck stop. Always driving 5 notes a week. Thomas. Heading to North Carolina. You're about to enter into Taco Bell. That's all there is here at the truck stop I'm at. What my kids do when they grow up, I don't care what my kids do when they grow up, as long as they make a conscious decision and they're happy doing what they want. That's kind of where I'm at, Arturo. And there was a time where my son was destined to be like me, in the truck, but ever since he got on this computer thing, he and that's the career he's working on, truck driving. He got bored with it last time he was with me. Daniel Adami says, I get depressed out here most of the time because of the things I'm going through, but now everything is coming into place where I want to be in my career. Yeah, that has a lot to do with it. I think that if I was still eating like crap and driving a company truck, I probably would be more depressed than I do get, and I don't really get depressed anymore, not like I used to, and I think a lot of that's because I have control of a lot of things, and that's a big part of it. You there's a subconscious level that makes you go, you know what, I'm in control, I run my business. Guess what? I feel like going home, so I will. Now, is it the smart business decision? I can't talk tonight. Maybe not, but, sometimes you got to take care of up here first before anything else will fall into place. Harold, maybe we're telling ghost stories. Yeah, Zach, it does get in your blood. And, I'm always amazed when I run into a driver out here that just hates it out here. Like, why are you doing this? There's a lot of people out here that are truck driving because they don't know how to make money any other way, or they need to make a certain amount. And truck driving is the only thing that they can do. And and let's turn on the APU and get our battery charger hooked up. I think those are the people that struggle with the day-to-day stuff. They struggle with, family, home life, missing it and stuff like that, being homesick. Mindset to do this job. Hey, Rican Trucker, what's up? I plan to get my own truck soon, though. That's good. Whenever you start feeling down, I find 3 things to be grateful about. Always try to change your energy, especially before you fall asleep. Artur's World, I am a firm believer in that. I'm glad he said that, because every night I just think of everything I'm thankful for. And I hope that rattle's not too bad for you guys. Oh yeah, I need to plug in my phone here. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let's see if we can get rid of this. Turn on the light. Plug this phone in. Oh, power strip on. There we go. Now we're back. Ooh, set the mood again. But yeah, and I think I'm less depressed because, I've got Spotify now, and I've got, like tonight. You know what I listened to tonight? I listened to Sirius Radio that had the Halloween channel. I listened to that tonight, the whole trip. And then I got a lot of friends that I talk to on the phone. But there are times when I turn the phones down and I just put on some music and I just, kind of get lost in the world, But I really haven't had any major depressive episodes. Even the times when I'm having trouble finding the load that I want to do. It was nothing like Landstar, where I was just like really down, just sitting in truck stops, not being able to book anything, You like that, Burger? Now, it was a year ago, Burger, that I was wearing a mask, and then you and I did the live feed, and Dan the Sandman showed up, and I think that was a year ago. Being in control of your life is a stress relief. You're right, and I've got a better handle, and it may sound weird, guys, but I think that the bad food kind of messes with your hormones and emotions, and it may sound weird, but I think it's true. Oh, by the way, Steve Berger did a really good video. He uploaded a new video today. If you're a Schneider guy, I think this should be the video you watch, because he tells you how to run the low board there. He tells you how to work the low board. So if you're struggling over a Schneider, go to Berger's channel and learn. Sometimes, like now with rates, I get a little down and would rather be at home, or breakdowns can get to a guy. Zach, I understand that. And I read something kind of profound that kind of made sense. When the rates are really good, work your butt off. Then when the rates are bad, go home. And I think a lot of people, myself included, have done the opposite. Hey, the rates are good, so I'm going to go home because, I only had to do 1,000 miles. I made this much money, It should be the opposite. Just out with the kids, home for the big 16th birthday for my daughter. Tell your daughter happy birthday. So are you holding a visual, or is the power out in your truck? Power from what storm? There was some rain I went through. There's a lot of rain going through Missouri right now. No, man, I just wanted to light a candle. That's all. I've talked to Landstar guys and they love it. They say money is great. Yeah, Zach, right now it is. I've got a couple of friends over there at Landstar that are killing it. But when I was there, uh, rates started off really good, and then they just hit the floor, man. I was lucky to get loads $1.30 to $1.40 a mile before Landstar's cut at one point, and then the volume wasn't there. I mean, like, I think that if you look at Landstar's loads, when I started, there was like 20,000 loads on their load board, and then right before I left, there was like maybe 10, and they have 10,000 trucks. So you do the math on that. And then a lot of the third-party agents were giving it to outside carriers. So not only was I competing with 10,000 Landstar drivers, but I was competing with everybody else that could do Landstar loads. But the rates are different now. But that will come to an end soon if rates don't pick up. Rates are picking up a little bit, but eventually that's going to trickle down to the Landstar guys. Big John, I'm doing all right. Hail Rider is scared. Happy Halloween, dude, says Ricardo. Trying to hand out candy, but there's no kids. Yeah, no one hardly trick or treats anymore. We live on a dead end street, right? We're the last house on the end. And I think out of the 15 years we've lived there, we've had 3 trick or treaters. So we have a lot of leftover candy usually. You've come a long way, Grasshopper. Berger has taken the Snyder low board and he has mastered it, which is why he's called the Godson. He is killing it, and he's not working hard to do it either. I mean, he is and he isn't. He's not having to run 3,000 miles a week or anything like that. And it goes to show you that if you treat everything like a business and work on your business, then you can be successful. Princess Prissy Pants, how's it going? All right, Harold, you enjoy your home time. I'll talk to you Monday. Spooby, you're the second person that's asked about ghost stories. Gear Grabber, what's up? I dressed up as a Triceratops and took the kids trick-or-treating. I'll send you a picture. That would be great, Burger. I think 2 years ago, the Godzilla movie was out, so I had the Godzilla mask, and took the kids trick-or-treating with that. Good deal, man. Good deal. Yep, Rick, and I say hello and happy Halloween to your family. Halloween was rained out here at the Pale Rider TV compound. Yeah, it was in Missouri as well. I think you and Missouri are in the same storm system. I think typically these days trick-or-treat is taking place in a more controlled environment. It's like churches and schools. Yeah, especially in our area, Spooby. I was just mentioning earlier about there's a neighborhood next to us that goes all out, and yeah, it's great. That's great, Burger. That is freaking awesome. That is the best costume I've ever seen. And because it has pictures of his kids in his truck, I will not show you guys. You'll just have to take my word for it. R2D2 in the truck. Always, always. That's great, Burger. That is awesome. Sean Galt. Hello, not raining out in my. But yeah, I remember back in the '80s. I'm showing my age now. Like one year we go trick or treating, and it was like massive amounts, right? And then the next year they had that Tylenol scare. Do you guys remember that? If you were old enough to remember that, people were dying from poisoned Tylenol in the stores. That was the year they started coming out with the sealed caps and all that kind of thing. And no one was trick or treating that year because everybody was afraid that you were going to get poison and razors and all this other stuff in your candy. And with all the with the crime rates up and population and everything, it's a scary world out there right now. Yeah, Tylenol cyanide and crap. Yeah, and then I think a couple of years later it was aspirin. It's like, now everything you buy is sealed up, and which is good. Like this load I got now is some kind of food product, but I have no idea what it is because they told me to throw 2 straps in the back of the trailer. And it was one of those docks where you don't even have to open your doors. And they sealed it up, and I have no idea what I've got because it's all numbers on the bill of lading. It's heavy, I know that, but it's a standard load, so I put the tandems in the right spot, and it was perfect. Am I coming back to Oswego? Not for a while, Food Mooch. I'm on my way to Ohio, and then speaking of Food Mooch, yeah, I met up with him. So I'm sitting there at the customer there in Oswego, right, waiting for my door assignment. This dude pulls up next to me in a day cab and starts honking at me like, I'm like, well, I'm not in your way. What the hell, And it was Food Mooch. He came up to me. It's like, this is lot. The movie Halloween ruined it for you as a kid. Looking at a bowl of Snickers, going to dump the whole bowl in the last good sack. There you go, Annette. That's what you do. Now you can't get OTC meds that actually work because of meth. LOL. Right? Yeah, over-the-counter meds. Yeah. Missouri was really bad about that. People were buying up, Sudafed like crazy. And Missouri and Oklahoma were the first 2 states to, like, you almost get, you have to show your license and sign, just to buy a regular thing of Sudafed. And then they did away with, the good Sudafed. Yeah, Adam, he does. And he looks different every time I see him. Now, granted, the first time I saw him was at 3:45 in the morning, and he was messing with me. I was not in the mood to, like, enjoy the joke, I guess. And then he was in one of Jeff's live feeds not too long ago. But he looked different from there because weren't you wearing like a winter hat? You're wearing a hat, glasses, I couldn't see your hair, So I'm like, who the hell's this dude honking at me? I'm not in his way. Dang day cab drivers. Sipping on codeine. He's a loser. I don't know, Missouri, I don't know if it still is, but at one time it was the #1 producer of meth in the country. And my brother-in-law, he worked for Greene County. And Greene County is one of the counties on live PD. And he told me the numbers of meth labs that they busted in the short time he was there. And one of the nicknames for meth is 417. That's our area code. 334. All right, Burger. You gonna watch the Rob Zombie version or the original version, or are you gonna watch the new one? You know, I like the Rob Zombie version of Halloween. I thought he did a good job because he explained the backstory decently. Oh, okay. But yeah, again, we were watching scary movies and at home, and that's something we do at the house all week. And I enjoy this time of year because guess what? Here's why. Starting tomorrow is the start of the Christmas season. Okay. Now, as a truck driver, that could be good in the sense of making more money, making more miles, more work. However, more traffic, more BS, more stress. Everybody's all stressed out. Everybody's all angry. And everybody's worried about, Christmas gifts and where they're going for the holidays. And, people get depressed during the holidays, And that kind of officially starts tomorrow. Independence, Missouri is meth capital of the world. I live about 20 miles away. Yeah, I agree, John. I remember. Have you heard of a band called Ancient Creation? We played a show with them at. I'm trying to remember the name of the club, but we were all sitting there hanging out before the show, and the guys from Ancient Creation who were from that area, they were like, "Yep, right down the street is the meth capital of the world, right there." You like Rob Zombie House 1,000 Corpses? I liked it. I liked that whole series. I thought he did good with the first Halloween. The second one, not a huge fan. But yeah, Food Mooch has given up the sleeper truck. He told me what he did, and it's a pretty sweet deal, man. Where I live, they got these guys that go back and forth between Springfield Underground and Kraft. They're off the main drag, and that's all they do, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I don't know if I could do that or not. Now, when I was a school bus driver, I enjoyed that. Every day was different, but then after a while, I got bored with the route. The kids weren't a challenge to deal with. But Conjuring flicks are good. Yeah, I don't know. I might bust out my Netflix and see what I got. I think last year, or no, the last time I was in Halloween in the truck, I think I found Night of the Living Dead on DVD somewhere in a truck stop, and I just watched it. But sorry, my live feed is not more exciting. And I really don't have any good ghost stories besides the one someone touched my shoulder when I was getting sleepy. I don't know, driving in Chicago every day, I don't know about that, Mooch. You're a more patient driver than I to do that. I did day cab for JB Hunt, hauling Target dedicated for a couple of years. I prefer Walmart Regional, 300 a day, regardless how much work I do. People, myself included, think, oh, I'm going to do a year of OTR and then get a day cab job, not realizing that it's not that easy, especially in like Springfield, Missouri, where everybody and their mother's got a CDL. And if you think of the high turnover rate, like what Prime goes through, you know, these guys, I know a lot of guys locally that went to Prime, and within a year they were done because they never got home. And then, you know, they're out there working all these different day cab jobs there. But I tried that route. I just, you know, got a couple of friends that did the gasoline route. And I almost went that route, but I didn't. And I'm glad now. So, I don't know, John. That's a good question. If I had an automatic transmission, I would be more calm. Yesterday, I was wound up too much Mountain Dew. That Mountain Dew is going to kill you, Fimuch. Yeah, I can't imagine doing city work with a 10 speed. But anyways, I thought I'd just jump on here. I haven't gone live in a while. Too many toxic live feeds out there, so I hope everybody's being safe. And there's nothing more scarier than reality. So that being said, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.